My name is DJ Hoseh. I'm born and raised in LA. Been part of the LA music world community since 1994, and I'm a founding member of Dublab.com, going on 21 plus years. Kind of specialize more in Latin music, dub reggae, but I can do it all. Electronic music, experimental, whatever you want. I can do it. I love sharing music, so here I am. I love sharing music that I love because everything that I play is something that I feel passionate about in some way, whether it makes me happy or sad or ready to dance or ready to relax. When I share it with folks, what I love is that they create their own vibe to it as well. And when folks compliment me, that's really nice, and that shows a lot of love. I also love beating Shazam. I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, and I'm very, very, very lucky to have found someone that I dearly, truly love that also doesn't care much for Valentine's Day. But we tend to have a nice dinner, usually takeout. Probably the best Valentine's Day story is from 2009, when my beautiful wife, my beautiful partner, and I at the time barely knew each other, and about 1 month into knowing each other, on a whim decided to go on a trip to Vegas without booking a room or anything, and we just showed up and then realized it was Valentine's Day, and somewhere in there I think we said I love you to each other, or boyfriend-girlfriend status, and the rest is 12 years of beautiful, awesome history. I feel that I have the privilege of being able to share love through music for so long, whether it's been on the radio airwaves, the internet waves, community events. That's always the most fulfilling. Seeing kids dancing to stuff that maybe folks in older venues would cross their arms at. So music is my definite connection. I also have been an educator for 20 years now at this point, and one of the ways that I've been able to share my love of LA and love in general of education is by teaching children from as young as 3-4 years old all the way up into teenagers about the history of LA and the importance of the cultural, cross-cultural exchanges that have been happening for 200 years now at this point, and if actually more at this point. So I think especially in the wake of the uprisings that we had, the protests that we've had in the wake of George Floyd and the like, and more evidence of unnecessary police brutality, I think that one of the ways that LA could truly show its love is by defunding police and investing that money into organizations, into community organizations that are willing to help those who are maybe going through psychological, emotional, physical challenges that people are unable to meet, that ends up putting them in situations where they do end up homeless or resorting to doing activities that are deemed criminal, but people are just trying to survive. So I think that the best way that we could do that is defund LAPD, get rid of Sheriff Villanueva, and invest more money in the community and the arts and culture. It's not necessarily a place, it's places, and it's not some place that I feel necessarily comfortable at this moment in time to share with folks, but LA has a terrible reputation for public transportation, but I love sharing public transportation, especially with kids, because I grew up taking the bus and eventually the trains that had already existed, 100 years ago, 90, 100 years ago here in LA, and we had the best public transportation system in the world, and then greed kind of messed that up. But now, as Metro LA is working on things more and more and hearing people's voices, the community's voices, they're expanding and hopefully making bus and train lines more accessible to everybody. And I think by showing people that things like the Gold Line or L Line or whatever the heck they're calling it right now, or the Red Line and the Underground and all that, that people get a different perspective on LA, because people do walk in LA and people definitely do ride public transportation. So that's a good place to start. Definitely going out there when it's safer. Oh, I think probably before I was born. I think that my mom and dad, besides teaching me about my Guatemalan heritage, also really at a young age put into me that music is really life, and I've believed that and I've lived that my whole life. Whether it's my dad's love of Juan Gabriel or my mom's love of merengue, that sort of planted the seeds, and then my brother influenced me as a kid, and on, friends of course, and yeah, since I could remember, music is everything for me. I love music loves me. My go-to love song? There's a few different ones, but it's on the mix today is the Sade's Lover's Rock. I love that song, or anything off that album in general. By Your Side is another one that people seem to love a lot. And I also love Richie Valens' We Belong Together. My favorite sound is a very difficult question to ask, because, and my wife makes fun of me for this to a degree, I love all sounds, meaning that I love the sound of a refrigerator. I love the sound of doors closing. I love the sirens in the distance, birds of course, running water. Those are all beautiful sounds to me, the wind. I also have a hard time with silence, so I love silence because I've learned to love it more, especially since I moved into the suburbs. But I just love sound, much like I love music. Sushi, I love sushi. If I could eat sushi every day without my mercury levels rising, I would do it.